Hello everyone, thanks for viewing my video once again. Guys, I appreciate you all so much. So a couple weeks ago I received many gifts for my birthday, and I felt so loved and admired. Though I'm not going to let the admired piece get to my head too much, it's nice to know that I am loved unconditionally, right? So as I was pondering this week's message, I was actually also writing out some thank you cards, and someone who knows me so well gave me these most beautiful cards as birthday gifts, and I'm using these for thank yous to my friends and family this year. So during the process of trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about this week, I said, why not just take some time to do some research about the writers of the Bible? Because if you think of it, if it wasn't for the writers themselves, we wouldn't have the Bible to read. And how unfortunate that would be if people then didn't take the time to actually take notations of everything that happened. So this week I want to just take a brief moment and touch a little bit on the writers, how that started. Some people say the Jews believe that Enoch left a lot of writings behind, but the Arabs believe that he was the one who actually created writing. Of course, that's not my expertise. I'm going to leave that to the scholars. So in the Bible, there's about 400 mentions of writers and writing. We know that Moses himself wrote on clay tablets. There were also different materials that I'm going to discuss a little later on writing and why it was important to keep records of these occasions and these occurrences in the Bible. So before the flood, as I said, writings were simply seals created from small pieces of stone or metal. Each writer had his own created seal, and people recognized specific seals as belonging to each individual. So I myself, when I create personal notes, I have a specific seal that I use with my initials, and I will show you guys that how I do that at the end of this video. So seals were important. They were on letters, documents, anything that was important. And I said they were, and some writings were done on soft clay, and they were hardened, which we can still see some of those notes today. Some say, though, that writing began when God marked Cain, and that can be found in Genesis 4:15. It is written people knew what this mark meant, and for this reason, marks or signs were used to inscript ideas, words, or both. So represented by marks and words, language such as this can still be found in areas of the Far East, like in Japan, China. We see those types of writings. From my studies, I know God took providence over writing, for it was important to him that his words were preserved and that they were recorded. And as I said earlier in this video, how fortunate we are for that. And I say hallelujah, right? So by 1500 BC, writing began to take form. 26 marks were created to form words. The International Bible Encyclopedia referred to this as inward writings. And you can find this kind of writing described by Solomon, say in Proverbs 3:3, 7:3, Jeremiah also in 7:1, and in Corinthians 3:3. Described as tablets of the heart, these writings were to incorporate memories and symbols. So we can find information on writing all the way back to Exodus. And as not to be, I don't want to be too technical in this, place where and my head can go there sometimes, especially on most work days. I'm trying to refrain from getting into Greek and Hebrew words for writing and writer and so forth. You guys can look that up yourself. Or maybe I'll touch on that, a little later in a later video. We do know the words writer and scribe are used interchangeably in the Bible, though. So, like I said, this is an interesting topic. I'm trying not to bore you guys. So, writing materials consisted of stone, clay, bricks, wax, metal, and wood. Papyrus was made from the perishable reeds of marsh, and a stylus was also used. This is kind of sounding, for me when I did this, I was like, oh, this sounds familiar. This is some of the stuff that we use today, especially when we're using a tablet or something like that to sign or, make notes. So the word Bible itself, guys, came from biblios, and it's closely attached to papyrus, representing its inner bark. Some scholars have shared that the delicacy of these materials made it almost impossible to preserve the original writings of the Bible. Vellum was also used in around 1500 BC, I think, and Numbers 5:23 discuss blotting out names from a book. What this basically means is the writing material itself, when dipped in water or washed, showed words written on materials. And I make paper, and sometimes I have to wash certain things to bring out imprintation on the products that I'm making. This to me is a fascinating subject. I'm a super nerd. I am trying to hide some of my salivation, and I hope that my excitement is not so obvious. So skins of animals are also good materials, rolled onto a stick. They were fastened with thread. We can find this in Isaiah 29:11, and of course many other areas in the Bible. We recognize this in scrolls today. Like when I visit the Messianic church on some Saturdays, they bring out the scroll, and it has the 10 Commandments and so forth on that. So pens were made of reeds. The Egyptians used stylus made of metal, ivory, or bones. It has been surmised that the apostle probably used quills for writing. Different sects of people prefer different colored inks. For instance, I believe the Egyptians used, what was the color? Cinnabar. And you can find that in Numbers 5:23. They carried this ink in ink pot attached to the girdles they wore. This was customary for most writers to do, whether you were Egyptian or whoever you were in the Bible. You always carried an ink pot for that. There's so much more on this topic I'd like to discuss, but I'm not going to get too detailed. Like I said, as a novice in everyday writing myself, most of my writing are completed, on computer. I would say that this is true for the majority of people. I know we don't handwrite anymore unless we're doing notes or something like that. Writing is a wonderful, necessary art. It is a vital area of communication, which should never fall through the cracks. I think now you get why I make time to write handwritten notes. I really enjoy the process. As a traditionalist, this suits my heart so much, guys. I just love doing it. So as a profession, magazines, advertisers, and many companies are always looking for good writers. If you think you have what it takes, I'd research what's out there, and see if that's something that you may be able to provide some good content. I would say provide this content, follow the guidelines, create something, and then create something spectacular and submit your work. You never know. You never know who is going to say yes. Be imaginative, honest, and clear in your writing. People want to know that you are human experiencing some of the same issues as they are. I know I write a blog every week, and I'm going to share that soon, within this video. All I can say is just be relatable. I have placed information in the description to possibly help you in getting some work, doing writing. But as an academic writer, one of the things I will say that my coaches always ding me for using the word that too often. I can't say this enough. Use that, THAT, only when it is needed. I guarantee your work will stand out so much more. So, so with this, I must get back to my thank you notes. If you found my content of use to you, please do subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. This is a young channel, so a young YouTube community, a young channel. However, I'd love to have you along as we create more unique videos of interest to me that I deliver to you, and they may also be of interest to you. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you and the love that you have shared with me so far. Always remember, though, to be peace in the world. People are watching us, and if we're going to talk the talk, it's important for us to walk the walk. Until then, I will see you guys next week. Have a great day. Stay home with your families and be safe. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.